Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. And it's called, take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. And today's puzzle is called Rituz Unicorn Unicorn 4 by AJN. And here are the rules. We have normal Sudoku rules apply, which means in every cell in the grid, place a single digit from 1 through 9 such that there are no repeats in any row, column, or designated 9-cell region, which is a box. We have crop key dots, where a black dot between cells indicates cell values with a 2 to 1 ratio, or 1 to 2. A white dot between cells indicates cells with consecutive values, and not all dots are given. So for example, if this were, say, a 6, this would have to be a 5 or a 7 to make sure that these digits are consecutive. If this were, say, a 2, this would have to be a 1 or a 4 to maintain the 1 to 2 ratio between them. We also have green German whisper lines, where consecutive digits on the green line must differ by a minimum of 5. I like to call them whisper 5 lines because, well, German whispers is, I don't know. I'm not even sure why it came about that was started being called German whisper. Actually, I don't even know why it's called whisper lines, so. Anyways, if, for example, this were a 3, this would have to be an 8 or 9 on this German whisper or whisper 5 line, because 8 and 9 are the only digits which are 5 or more away from 3. So that's an example of how German whisper lines work. We also have skyscrapers, where clues outside the grid count the number of cells seen inside the grid of its row or column. And each cell is considered a skyscraper of a height corresponding to its value, and taller skyscrapers block the sight of shorter ones. So you could have, as an example here, 3, 2, 6, 1, 4, 8, 7, 5, 9. And this would be valid because it would only see 4 of these digits. It would see the 3. It would not see the 2 since the 2 is smaller than the 3, and it would not be able to see smaller digits, smaller skyscrapers behind taller ones. It would see the 6, so it would see this 3. It would not see the 2. It would see the 6. It would not see 1 or 4 because they're behind the 6. It would see the 8. It would not see 7 or 5, and it would see the 9. So it would see 4 numbers, digits in total along this row, looking this way. And that would fulfill this skyscraper clue. And that's an example of how skyscrapers work. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's gonna be a link in the description. And now I'm gonna get started. Let's go. Okay. Along a German whisper line, or as I like to call them, a whisper 5 line. Well, actually, let's look at the 7 skyscrapers. What digits can be here? The only digits which can be here are 1, 2, or 3. If you have something higher than 3, that would be a 4. You could only see at most 6 skyscrapers there, right? You could see, if you see 4 as the first digit, it would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? That's only 6 digits you can see. You can't see 1, 2, or 3 because they would be behind a taller skyscraper. So this must be 1 through 3. This has to be 1 through 4. Because again, if it's 4, so if it's 5 or taller, say this was 3, this was 5, you'd only see at most six skyscrapers. That's a kind of a tongue twister, actually. Um, in that column, right? You see 1, 2, or 3. You see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this must be at most 1 through 4. Well, since this is 1 through 4, it's a low digit. First of all, it can't be 4 because 4 can only be next to one unique digit on a Whisper 5 line, and that's 9. And this one's next to two unique digits. So this cannot be 4. It's 1, 2, or 3, which is next to low digits on a Whisper 5 line have to be next to high digits, right? 1, 2, and 3 can all be next to 6 through 9 for the 1, 7 through 9 for the 2, and 8 or 9 for the 3. So any digit that is a low digit, 4 would be next to also a 9 as possible. So that's why any low digit on a Whisper 5 line has to be next to high digits. And then vice versa. High digits have to be next to low digits. 6 through 9 has to be what digits can it be next to? 6 can be next to 1, 7 can be next to 1 or 2, 8 can be next to 1, 2, or 3, and 9 can be next to 1 through 4 on a Whisper 5 line. So you'll always alternate between high digits and low digits on a Whisper 5 line. So these are low and these are high. Well, if this is a high digit, looking this way, what digit does this have to be? It has to be 6, 7, and 8. If it's any other higher digit, you will not see 4 unique digits in this row as a skyscraper, right? If you have 7, you can only see 7, 8, and 9 on the skyscraper in that row. So this has to be 6, which must be next to a 1 on a Whisper 5 line. That makes this a 7, because again, you have to see 4 unique digits, and they have to be each less than the next. So it's 6, you see 6, you don't see 1. You see 7, you don't see... this digit has to be 2 then, because it has to be next to 7, but it can't be a 1. So this is 2, and then this must be 8, which makes that next to a 3. And then you have 4, 5, and 9 remaining, and it doesn't matter the order because you will always see the 9 and you will never see the 4 or the 5 here. This 2, 3 in this box 2 has to eliminate 2 and 3 here, so this is 1. This has to be at least 4. And it could be 5, it cannot be 6. Because if it's 6, it would see, again, only 1, 2, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, which is only 6 skyscrapers going this way. 7 is consecutive with 6 or 8, but we already have a 6 in the box, so this must be 8. This is high, then. This is 1 to 2 ratio without 1 or 8, so it's either 2, 4, or it's 3, 6. It cannot be 2, 4, because we have a 4, 5, 9 triplet in the box, so this has to be 3, 6. Okay. This sees 6 skyscrapers, and it does not see 7 or 8 here, because they're going to be behind the 9 in the column. So therefore, 9 has to be one of these two. Because if it's any if it's any earlier, it will only see 5 skyscrapers, because it'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then nothing behind it. So 9 is one of these two digits. This then has to be 1 or 2. Because if it's not 1 or 2, so if it's 3 or higher, that means you could only see 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9 in that column. That's the reason why this is 1 or 2. And this is 1, 2, or 3 for the same reason. Well, 1 or 2 is consecutive with 1, 2, or 3. So that means that we have a 1, 2, 3 triplet in this box. And 2 cannot be here because this must be either 1, 2 or 2, 3 as a pair. of consecutive digits, so this can't be 2. And we know this is a low. So since this is a low, this has, actually all of these are low. This has to be a high on the whisper 5 line, which makes this low, which makes this high, which makes this low, which makes this high. So we have to have a similar situation here as we did here, because this sees 5 skyscrapers. That means this has to be at most 5. And then this has to be 6, because if it's any higher, 7, 8, or 9, it will only see 4 skyscrapers at most. So then this is 6, this is 1, we have 7, 2, 8, and 3. So this is a similar situation. 8 is consecutive with 7 or 9, and 7's already in the box, so this must be 9. This cannot be 1, 2, or 3, so it's 4 or 5. This sees this cell. It sees a 3. It must see 4, 5, 6, and 9 remaining. So that will give us 6 in total that it can see, right? The 1 or 2 here, 3 with 4, 5, 6, and 9. But we don't know where these digits have to be. Well, we know this has to be 4. Because if it's not 4, it can't be 1 or 2. So it would have to be 5 or higher, which means that would see only 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 9, which is only 5 skyscrapers. So this must be a 4 here. That means what are the remaining digits in row 8? 4, 5, and 9. 4 cannot be here, therefore 4 must be here. So this can't be 4 up here because of the 4 in the column. That makes this a 5, 9 pair, and we don't know the order. It could be either order, because this sees 4, 6, 7, and 8, and then it will see one of the 9s. This could be 5, 1, or 2. This could be 1, 2, 5, or 6. 1, 2, 5, 6, or 9. And 2, 5, 6, or 9 here. This cannot be 5 because it's on a whisper 5 line, and 5 can never be on a whisper 5 line, right? Because if you subtract 5 or more from 5, you get 0 or less, which is not a normal Sudoku digit. And if you add 5 or more to 5, you get 10 or more, which is not a digit. Okay, so this sees 7. It then has to see, we know 9 is here, this is 8, so it must see all of these cells to see 7, right? It can't see any digits past the 9, because 9 is the most you can have. So this this cell has to be greater than this one. So this would be 5 or 6, 6 or 7, 7 or 8. This cannot be 8 because of the 8 in the column, so this makes this 7, 6, 5, and 4 that it sees. This 7 has to be next to a 1, 2 pair on a whisper 5 line. And since these are unique, it has to be just the 1, 2 pair. We also have a 1, 2 pair in column 3, which eliminates 1 and 2 in the rest of the column. That makes this not 1 or 2, this is 5. Excuse me. These are both low, that makes this high, which makes this a low. This is 3 or 4, which makes this an 8 or 9 there. We have 1, 2, and 5, not possible here. And then to see 6 skyscrapers, it must see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this must be a 6, and this must be a 9. Okay. Remaining digit in column 4 is a 3. This cannot be 1, 2, or 3. So this has to be 4, 6, or 8, but it cannot be 6 because of the 6 in the box. So this is 4 or 8, which has to be with 2, 4, or 8 here. So we're guaranteed a 4 in one of these cells. Again, this can't be 1 or 2 because of the 1, 2 pair. This 2 eliminates 2 here. So this is 1, which makes that 2. That makes this 1, which makes that 2. Oh, we already had a 1 there, so we should have been able to figure that out. Anyways, so we've done the skyscraper. It sees 1, 3, 4, 5. It does not see 2. It sees 6, 9, and does not see 7 or 8. So that's 6. This one sees 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and does not see 8 or 3. This sees 4, 6, 7, 8, and one of these is 9. So those are all done. We just have this skyscraper and this black crop key dot for information. Where is the 6 in box 7? Can't be here, can't be here, so it must be here. That leaves 7, 8 as the remaining digits in that box. Okay, one of these is 4. We're not sure which. Where is the 6 in box 2? Can't be here because of the 3, 6 pair here, so 6 has to be one of these 2 digits. Also, 3 has to be one of those 2 digits. 2 has to be one of these 2. Let's just have what are the remaining digits in box 1. We have 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This can't be 3 because of the 3, 6 pair in the row. This can't be 4 because of the 4 in the row. This can't be 2 because of the 2 in the column. So those are the remaining digits there. In box 2, we have 5, 6, 7, 9. 7 cannot be either of these cells. 6 cannot be either of these cells because of the 7 in the column and the 6 in this 3, 6 pair in this row. Last remaining digit in row 1 cannot be 1, 8, 3, or 6. So we have 2, 4, 5, 7, 9. 4, 5, and 9 are eliminated because of the 4, 5, 9 triplet in the box. Okay. Remaining digits in box 5. Well, it's 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. But, okay, so that's where we have it. So, where is the 2 in box 5? Can't be here because of the 2 in the column. Can't be here because it's high. Can't be here because of the 2 in the row. So it must be here, which makes this a 4, which makes that a 3. This 3 eliminates 3 here, so it's 6 and 3. To be in a 1 to 2 ratio, you can't have 5, 7, or 9 here because of if you have 5, which is in 1 to 2 ratio, you get 2.5, 3.5, and 4.5, which are not digits. If you double 5, 7, or 9, you get 10, 14, or 18, which are not digits. Therefore, that leaves this as an 8, which must be in a 1 to 2 ratio with 4. That eliminates 4 in the rest of the column, so this must be a 4 here because of the 5, 9 pair in the row. This sees 4 skyscrapers. So now everything is essentially all set up. And now we just have to do normal Sudoku aside from this skyscraper clue. This digit cannot be 7, 8, or 9 because then it would see 3 or fewer skyscrapers. It can't be 4. It sees the 4. It cannot be 5 or 6 here. So this has to be 1 or 3 because it can't be 4, 2, 5, or 6. It can't be 7, 8, or 9. That leaves 1 or 3. So it sees these 2 cells, guaranteed. Remaining digits in box 5. We have 3, 8, and 9. But 8 cannot be either of these cells because of the 8 in the column, so this becomes a 3, 9 pair, which eliminates 3 and 9 in the rest of the box and the column, so this is 8. This can no longer be 9 here or 9 here. Okay. Remaining digits in row 5 are 5, 7, 9, and this can't be 5 because of the 5 in the box. That leaves this as a 5 here, which makes this not 5. That's 9, which makes that 5. That leaves this as 7 and 9 as a pair. Okay. So 7, where's 7 in row 4? Cannot be here because of the 7-9 pair in the box. Actually, this is a 7-8, 7-8 pair. That eliminates 7-8 from the rest of the column. So this is 9, that's 7. Again, can't be here because of the 7 in the box. Can't be here because of 7 in the box. It has to be one of these, so it must be here. So this is 7. So it sees this cell, and this cell. It cannot see the 8 because it must see the 9 behind it. Remaining digits in row 4 are 1, 3, 8, and 9. This can't be 1. If this were 9, it would guarantee that the 8 is in front of it, and it would see this cell, 4, 7, 8, and 9, which is 5 skyscrapers, which is not allowed. So this can never be 9 here. Where is the 8? Okay, this can't be 8 because of the 7-8 pair in the column. And where is the 8 actually in column 2? Can't be here because of the 8 in the box. Can't be here because of this having to be a 6, and this can't be 8 in the row. This can't be 8 because of the 8 in the row, so this must be an 8 here. Which means, where's the 9 to force this skyscraper to work? It must be here. So this is 9, which makes this 3. Okay. And remaining digits in box 4 are 1, 3, and 4. Obviously, neither of these could be 3, so we have a 1, 4 pair here, which eliminates 1 and 4 in the rest of the box. So this is 3, which makes that 1. This can't be 1 because of the 1 in the column here, so this is 4, which makes this 1. 4 eliminates 4 here, so it's 5, which makes this 3. This can't be 3 or 5, so it's 2, which makes this 4. This 5 eliminates 5 here, so it's 7, and this 5 here, so it's 9. This 7 eliminates 7 here, so it's 2. This can't be 7, this can't be 9. This can no longer be 9 because of 9 in the column, so it's 5, which makes this 9. And yeah, we're just doing normal Sudoku here now. Remaining digit, we have 8 ones. No, we don't. We have 7 ones. But we know in box 8, where is the 1? It cannot be here or here, and these are filled out, so it must be here. So that's a 1, and we have 8 ones now. We know where the last one has to be. It has to be there. 2s. 2s is kind of still wide open. It could be either of those. 3s. We have 8 3s. So we know where the last 3 has to be. It has to be there. 4s, we have 8 4s, I believe. Yep. So we know where the last 4 has to be. It has to be there. 5. We don't know where the 5s are. It could be either of these, and those both work. 6s. Where is 6 in box 8? Cannot be here because of the 6 in the row, so this has to be a 6 here, which makes this 5 and 6. That makes this 5. Okay, and then we have 8 6s now. We know where the last 6 has to be. So that's 6, 7. We know where the 7 has to be in row 3. Cannot be here because of the 7 in the box. So this is, or 7 in the column. So this is 7 there. And that gives us a 7 in one of these. We don't know which. 8s. 8 has to be here now, and then here, there. So this can't be 8. This is 7, which makes that 8, and that gives us all the 8s, I believe. Yep. 9s. We know, we don't really know where the 9s could be right now. So now we have to do 2s, which we don't have information on. 5s. Where we have 8 5s, and we know where the last 5 has to be. It has to be there. 6s are all done, I believe. Yep. 7s. We have 8 7s, so we know where the last 7 has to be. It has to be there. We've done 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9s. Okay, 9 in box 9 cannot be here anymore, so it must be here. Which means this can't be 9, so that's a 9, which leaves these as 2s. And that's the solution. Yep, fairly straightforward. You just have to know a little bit about skyscrapers, and obviously, be fairly solid with your Whisper 5 lines and the Kropke dots. But this one was really driven by the skyscraper clues. So you just had to figure that out and how that related to the German Whisper lines. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.